Hi, I'm Tim from the Heresy group and this is the Tokyo Marui MTR. Now, this is called the multi-tactical rifle, but I've also been told that it's being called the modern training rifle. And I will go into that a little bit later on, but this is the multi-tactical rifle. This is a 16-inch outer barrel full gas Tokyo Marui. This is a 16-inch MLok, and then on the outer barrel here, this nice silver aluminium fluted barrel. It's an M4 AR-15 base platform. As you can see at the back here, we've got the forward assist has been removed, which is quite funky, the fact that they still have it on the upper body, but it has no functionality. It has a fully working bolt system, and the internals really do break down much like a real steel counterpart. Moving back then, this is a full metal platform. You've got a fully working buffer tube system in here as well with the spring and everything, much like a real rifle. And then moving to the stock at the back, we do have an adjustable rear back plate where you can turn this round either way. And then also we have, I think, 6 steps of adjustment, much like many other stocks out there on the market. And if you are a guy with a real long wingspan, this is definitely the platform for you. As you can see, you really can stretch this out if you need to. I actually prefer this much more compact. This gun feels incredibly rigid. Now, the strangest thing to say about a platform, but it really does. A lot of airsoft platforms, especially the gas ones with the full metal components, have slight amounts of movement, creak, body wobble. This is absolutely solid. There is no movement upper and lower, so I'm placing my thumb here on the back of the body and I'm pushing my finger on the lower, on the back, and on the upper on the front. There is absolutely no movement there at all. None, not one bit. There is no movement between the rail and the body. The gun is set and feels extremely solid. Now, much like a real rifle and the way that this works, some of the functions and features on this catch people out really, really quickly. So this was handed out at our Training Black event, and a few people had a look at it, and the first thing they did was rack the bolt. So I'm just going to do that. Just bear in mind, guys, this is a complete gas platform, so it doesn't matter if I rack the bolt or not, this is not going to fire anything. So rack the bolt like so, drop that forward, they put it into semi, and then they pull the trigger to feel the break of the trigger. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll do it from the right side. A very, very light, especially with this flat face trigger, you've got a very light break. The next thing they go to do is, as you can see on the ambi fire selector, is put it into safe. Now the safe will stop at 45 degrees, and that is because the gun needs to be in a cocked position for it to go into safe. So being in the cocked position essentially means pulling the bolt back like so, let that slide forward, and now that enables you to put it into safe. So that caught a lot of people out. The mechanics of a gun platform that probably is not as familiar with people as they are with their AEG platforms. One of the other really nice things about this, and one of the things that really caught my eye, was the fact that it is almost fully ambi. Now there is a cutout here on the right hand side, so when this is down it doesn't impede your trigger finger, but I did find it a little bit more difficult for the ambi fire controls. Now as I spin this platform round, you can see that on the left hand side of the platform now, you've got your mag release and you've got your bolt release. And if I flip round again, you can see you've got your mag release here, and you've also got an ambi bolt release, which is really nice, especially for when the weapon is still cocked back. You want to put your fresh magazine in. Once you've run a magazine dry, you can then drop that bolt back forward into place if the bolt is returned to the rear. So it functions and works and feels very, very good. This is a very light platform, as I've mentioned. It comes in around 2.6 kilos. That's nearly half the weight of my Scar. And if you're looking at some of the much larger full metal Tokyo Maruis, they push closer to the 5 kilo mark. So you're looking at half the weight of a traditional full metal AEG. Now then, where does the weight come back into the platform? And it is with these. These are the Tokyo Marui full length gas mags. They do the half length ones, but these are the full length ones. They're pretty much a standard M4 mag, but they are incredibly weighty. I think these come in at about 700-800 grams. So just be warned that yes, you lose a lot of weight off of the platform, being the full gas system and having less internals and so on and so forth. But if you're carrying 5, 6, 7 of these around, you are carrying a lot of weight on your body. And it's one thing I instantly noticed on my rig was all of a sudden I've gone from these nice light, almost hollow plastic mags over to these beasts, weighing in a lot more. And I had 4 in the front of the magazine, magazines in the front of the plate carrier. So capacity, these are a 30 round magazine, and I've had the magazines modded by the guys over at Camo Raids, and these will hold 2 full magazines worth of gas dependent upon weather. Now, I was running this on red gas. I've been told to run it on the most powerful gas that you can get your hands on. So I was running it on red gas, and I was just managing to get to the last shots of the magazine where they're beginning to drop off, and you could really notice that power drop. That was in a fairly mild day. It wasn't particularly cold, wasn't particularly warm, but definitely something to be aware of, that you definitely pick up that added weight with these, and you also pick up that lower magazine count. So one of the things about the lower magazine count really does make these platforms great if you are doing any training, or if you are one of these guys that's really anal about the best experience possible from your mil sims. You want to get close to the real thing as possible. 30 round mags are as close as you're going to get. One of the things I do love about this platform is just how mechanical it feels with the bolt pull and also with the magazines going in. So I'm just going to throw this in the bottom. Again, real nice, very positive click. That's one thing I really do like about this. It just feels very mechanically, heavy and brutish, and feels like if you really want to throw this thing around, you can. Now, performance-wise, this is a standard Tokyo Marui AG. It will come out of the box at around 300 FPS. Again, dependent upon weather, climate, how far you are through your mag, those variations in the FPS really do begin to come into effect. What I'll do is just put some footage in now of me running 10 shots through this so you can see the consistency. So guys, now that you've seen the FPS results, I'm going to show you a quick shoot video. Now, one of the other core things about this, and one of the things I mentioned earlier about it being called a modern training rifle, is that many forces, many people have seen airsoft as a training platform in a variety of different use cases. And this has been talked about by a lot of people over in the US, including Esoteric, Travis Haley, and tons of others, about using these types of platforms for real firearms training. This platform, this and the CQBR from Tokyo Marui, I truly believe are as close to a real steel platform as you are going to get. I just do not know how they could push it any further. Unless it was shell ejecting or something like that, I just feel like this platform is as close as you're going to get. It feels incredibly good when you're using it. So where's the plus, where's the minuses? For me, I need a platform that's going to be able to sustain me out on the ground for a long period of time, and my key worry is that magazine capacity. Also, I'm a very keen and fond player of kind of September through to January, February. That's when I really enjoy getting out and playing. Just due to work commitments, that's a much quieter period for me. So I really do try and maximise my time out, and my one core worry would be just how the temperature really does affect this platform. Now, that's something that I would like to test myself. I've heard lots of rumours, lots of myths from guys that have had no problems at all to guys that have had complete failures. Now, I have been out with guys that have run MWSs in cold weather and seen that their performance has actually been incredibly poor. But I've heard from numerous people now that they've had little to no problems with running their platforms as long as they are very careful about their shot placement and making sure they're not spamming the trigger, which causes the magazines to become inherently very, very cold. So I'm going to look forward to running this out over the winter months. Two things that really do bug me, and I just want to kind of put these out there as this being a completely honest review. This platform might be absolutely perfect for you and you might find no issues with the issues that I tend to be having, or it might be the fact that I'm doing it wrong. Loading these magazines for me has been an absolute nightmare. Regardless of what adapter I choose to use, I find that the BBs, once I've put the adapter on the end, are being forced downwards like this, and they are hitting either the top lip or the bottom lip of the magazine, causing indentations on the BBs. So I put about 10 BBs into this magazine and then poured them out, and nearly all of them were marked. Now yes, it's just a small thing and it's no real big deal, but I do believe that it would affect some of the accuracy if you are putting indentations in the spherical shape of the BB. I found these magazines incredibly difficult to load. Maybe it was just me. If there's a knack, if there's a video, if there's some way of finding out actually how to load these in a much easier and better manner, please make sure that you put it in the comments, because that's one thing that I did find really difficult. The other thing about this platform that really does put me off is just the weight of the magazines. I love the weight of the platform, but these are really, really off-putting. So one of the key things about this is that, you've got the power combined, in the mag. So every time you put a fresh mag in, you are, reinvigorating the platform. What I do like about the AEGs is the fact that the platform is subsistent. It will, just manages itself, and you just throw the magazines in as need be. What I don't want to get into this kind of habit or run through is that I'm running through my set of magazines. I'm carrying more magazines than I was before, or having to before, and yet I'm not seeing the performance gain. So that's just the issue for me. It's all around this. The actual platform itself I absolutely love. If you guys are after something to go plinking, you're after something to do some training, or even if you're looking for a longer, more DMR focused, or even if you're a guy with a real long wingspan and you're just not looking for, a 12, 13 inch platform, you want something that's got a little bit more length to it. This would be absolutely perfect to you, caveat that you can get over the problems that I'm having, and that is carrying the added weight that I'm just not used to, and also the loading of these magazines, which I have found a little bit difficult. To sum up, this is an incredibly well built platform. It breaks down just like a real steel platform, so if that is your sort of thing and something that you are keen on, then that for you is really, really going to tick all the boxes. If you're also after a gun that requires a little bit of maintenance here and there, that is another thing that I do believe is really going to, shine for you in this platform. So now I've just taken it off of safe just by pulling the trigger in. Just going to pull the top open and open it up like so. In here you can see the bolt system. I'm just going to lift that up like so, and then you can see also in there attached is the barrel and also the hop up and everything else. So that will pull out from the back. I'm not going to lift it out at the moment just because it's got everything else attached. You've got the trigger system in here, and then you've also got the spring and the buffer tube. So all of this really does go together and fall apart, come apart like the real steel counterpart. And to be completely honest, just the rebuild of this, the quality of it is really, really outstanding. It really does feel mechanically very, very solid. I just worry about the magazines in the long run. Maybe it's something I can get over. I really hope I do, because I'm looking forward to running this out. So FPS wise, you could see it had some great consistency, and from an accuracy perspective, it's good, but I am comparing it to a very, very modified platform. If you run one of these, or if you're interested in getting one, I'd really like to hear your thoughts. For me, an incredible platform. I just need to get over the teething problems and probably a few issues of it just being a very new gun that I'm not used to. But other than that, quality and build wise and just execution of a full gas platform that's modeled on a 3-gun style gun, they have absolutely nailed it. Now, if you do want to go and pick one of these up, you can do it over at Camo Raids. I highly recommend them for all of your Tokyo Marui purchases. They are a Tokyo Marui specialist. If that's not really your bag, then they're probably not the shop for you. But if you're after a Tokyo Marui, whether that's an AEG or a gas platform, Camo Raids and also their kind of counterpart business, Camo Customs, will pimp this thing out for you all you need, and as well as your AEG. So I highly recommend them. If you are shopping in Europe and you want to go to a TM specialist, they are the one to go to. I need to spend some more time with this. You'll probably see another review of this coming up in the next few months. If you have any opinions, feedback, comments, or if you can tell me the magic trick for loading these, please feel free to put it in the comments box below. If you want to see from more of myself and Richie, please make sure you subscribe to the channel or hit the like button in the bottom right hand corner. So guys, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my overview and review of the Tokyo Marui MTR.